What is up there, LEGO fans, and welcome back. Alex here. In this video, we are going to be doing a build and review of the new LEGO Icons Land Rover Classic Defender 90. This is set number 10317, contains 2,336 pieces, and will retail for $240 US. As always, we will start with a time-lapse build, give this thing a proper review. After that, we'll go ahead and find a good spot for this thing to be displayed. So let's go ahead and get started. And we are back, and here it is, guys. Our classic Defender is complete. This was actually a surprisingly quick build. I believe it took less than 5 hours in total. Now, before I get into the meat of this thing, let me start off with the instructions. There is one book, and as expected, it does start off with some fun information about the Defender, including a timeline that highlights its 75 years of existence since it first premiered back in 1948. Then, there's a page with some words from the designer, who mentions this set is an amalgamation of Defender 90 models from 1983 to 2016, which is quite the large window. Then we are off into the build, which indicates there are 15 sections. We have an option of choosing between two final models. There's the Expedition model, which makes this model appear like a very capable overland vehicle, or there's a sleeker look that ditches almost all the accessories. Now, this is not new, as several LEGO cars this size offer the builder the option to customize with different colors and accessories. While I am sure many people enjoy this feature, I am one who does not like to have additional pieces to keep track of. I already have bags that keep the extra parts to the DeLorean Time Machine and the Porsche 911, among others. The Defender is extremely lopsided in this category. See, here I have the Defender 90 as the Expedition model, which is the version I plan to keep it in. As you can see, there are very few pieces left over. And yes, there is an extra motor, as this allows you to easily swap between two engines, a naturally aspirated V8 or a 5-cylinder turbo diesel. If you are a builder who prefers the other version, whether it's the bulged or smooth hood, you will have an insane number of extra pieces. And this is my first issue with this set. While I can see the logic of these two options, this lighter version leaves way too many pieces on the table, pieces that add to the cost of an already expensive LEGO set. When I first started building this set, I was disappointed to find out that it was not a Technic set like its predecessor. In my mind, it just seemed like it made sense since they'd already done a Land Rover at that scale. It was still an enjoyable build, and it was neat to find out that we had the option of making it left-hand drive or right-hand drive. Now, Josh was building it at the time this decision was required, and he went for the right-hand drive. When I got to the part of adding the windshield, I did notice it was free of scratches, as it was only packaged with the rubber tires. However, I had a problem with the windshield's installation. It does not have enough clutch to keep it in place, and it kept breaking off during the build. This is especially an issue when the model is completed, and it can be very difficult to get it reattached without having to partially disassemble the model. I also ran into an issue with the winch. It's attached to the grill, and when you pull out the winch line, it is rather stiff, and it often takes the entire grill with it. The winch is reeled in with this red knob to the side of it, but it is difficult to get a good grip on it unless you take the grill off. I also found the spare tires a little annoying, as they get in the way of opening the hood as well as the rear door. This may be a small issue or even a non-issue to most, but I took notice of it. The most technical part of the build is the suspension and steering. The steering can only be operated from the actual steering wheel inside the Defender. No external knob is present, which is consistent with other models in this scale. I did notice the front wheels do scrape the wheel well on full lock. Again, not something most would notice, but it is something I look for, and I was a bit annoyed by it. The suspension elements are quite stiff. I feel like softer suspension should have been used here. You have to really give it some good pressure to fully compress it. I enjoy seeing the suspension flex when one wheel is propped up. However, the Defender's stiff suspension robs us of seeing it show off its potential. Again, not something that will bother most, but if suspension is going to be added to a LEGO vehicle, I want to see it flex under its own weight. The way the axle and wheels are attached is a very neat feature. Each axle is connected by the suspension element as well as 4 ball joints. While I think this gives it an authentic look, the result is unfortunate as it allows the vehicle to sway sideways. This sway is quite significant too. My thought was this is either how the real Defender is built or the designer was okay with a lot of sway in the final model. The color used for the exterior is a sand green, and I feel like it fits the model well. The interior color is known as wet sand, and I think the combination of colors works well here. There are some stickers used in the set, but it's not a large amount. The hood opens easily, revealing the engine bay. The 2 doors on either side of the Defender function well and open very wide. We can also remove the entire roof section to get a better look at the interior. The roof section is well designed, but the sloped corner elements seem to become loose easily due to the issue I mentioned earlier with the windshield. Finding the right amount of pressure to apply when adding the roof back can be difficult. I really like the interior of this vehicle. The seats and the dashboard are well done, as well as the rear benches. The rear door is designed so that it opens as one door if the roof is applied. I think the designer did an excellent job all around in capturing the exterior and interior look of the Defender 90. I also wanted to mention the fun accessories that are attached to the exterior of the Defender 90. These are all tools of a rugged overlander. The roof rack carries 2 fuel canisters, a jack, and a toolbox. Now the toolbox opens up, revealing more space to store your tools, but I will add that it is rather large. It's actually bigger than the brick-built engines. After looking at all this vehicle has to offer, I feel this will definitely appeal to LEGO fans who are also big fans of the Defender. If you're a casual collector of LEGO vehicles like I am, then I think this is a good set to pick up. However, I have to say that the price tag would definitely stop me from buying it. I think that the price tag of $240 is a bit steep here for what you get, so I would recommend waiting for a discount that gets this thing closer to maybe around $200. So that is my review of the Land Rover Defender 90. A huge thanks to the LEGO Group in providing me this early copy for review. Now the release date of this is going to be April 4th, but it will be available to VIP members as of the 1st of April. Now, let's go ahead and find a spot to display our new Defender. And here we are downstairs in the basement, and the Land Rover Defender 90 is on display on this upper shelf here at the end of the basement. And you know what? I gotta say, this thing looks pretty good on display. It's got some good curb appeal. I will definitely give it that. So right here next to the Ford Raptor, here's the Defender that we had a few years ago. Of course, that's a larger scale. It's a Technic-based set. Down below here, we have the 1/8 scale supercars. We've got all of the Speed Champions cars. These are all different scale vehicles, obviously. Now, the Land Rover Defender, the 90 here, is the same scale as these guys over here, right? So you have the Ford Mustang, the DB5, the Porsche 911, the DeLorean. There's no room over here for it. As you can see, that shelf is quite full, so it's going to go over here. Which, you know what, I think it works right here. It's a taller vehicle. It doesn't even need to be on an angled display. So I like it right there. It looks pretty good. Okay, guys, well, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about the Land Rover Defender 90. If this is a set that you're going to look to pick up on day one, or something maybe eventually, or just maybe skip altogether. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.